Hey everybody, what up? It's your girl Leanne here, and thank you guys so much for coming back and joining me today for another movie review. Welcome back to Black Girls Love Movies, where your favorite black girl sits down and talks about all of your movies, TV shows, anime, just about everything you love under the sun. So listen, today we're going to be reviewing a movie I'm sure most of you have heard about. It's called I, Tonya, directed by Greg Gillespie, starring Margot Robbie, Allison Janey. I am messing up everybody's name today, y'all. Excuse me. But today we're going to be reviewing this movie. If you're new here to the channel, please be sure to hit the big red subscribe button below. Okay, yeah, go ahead and hit that button. I don't want you guys to miss out on anything I have coming. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I, Tonya, I definitely have to say, watching this movie, I have a lot more respect for Tonya Harding as a person. Margot Robbie, I think, did an outstanding and amazing job playing her as Tonya Harding. I think that she's a great actress. I'm so glad that she's been able to kind of get out of this category. People just think because she's pretty and blonde and beautiful that she's only going to be able to be typecast as one specific kind of character. So I'm really happy that she's kind of getting outside or showing her range as an actress, because I think that's very important. So I definitely want to say the story, I think, really kind of, it painted a different picture. One of the things that I want to stress to people as to why I think it's a good idea for them to watch this movie is they film it in a way, and kind of like a mockumentary kind of way. So essentially, Margot Robbie and Sebastian Stan play the roles of Tonya Harding and her husband, Jeff Gillespie, I think that's how you say his name. And so essentially it's Margot Robbie and Sebastian Stan being interviewed as if they are the actual people, and that's how they present the story. But it's so interesting because the story is so conflicting, and because there are so many different sides to it, just because it's just a really messy story. And I mean, that's what makes it so good, in my personal opinion. I think messy stories are okay, you know, to each its own. I do want to say that before watching this movie, the only experience I had dealing with Tonya Harding and kind of understanding of what the incident was, because I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 95. So I don't necessarily remember it. It wasn't really talked about in my household. Like, we just didn't talk about competitive figure skating. It just wasn't a thing that we talked about. So the only information that I had about the incident, I previously watched a 30 for 30 where they interviewed Tonya Harding, and a lot of the people, I think Nancy Kerrigans was actually in that 30 for 30. I can't remember the name of it, but I will definitely post it over here somewhere, like if I can remember it or if I can find it. But yeah, that's the only information that I had about the incident. So it was really interesting for me personally to learn more about her story. I think that the 30 for 30 was good, but it doesn't necessarily do her justice. Another thing that I really enjoy about this movie is that Margot Robbie was able to humanize Tonya Harding in a way that they really paint this picture that everyone in the world hated her for what she quote unquote did or did not do to Nancy Kerrigan. I, Tonya is about, obviously, Tonya Harding's life growing up in the competitive figure skating world, what it was like for her as a child, her relationship with her father, with her mother, played by Allison Janey, who I have to say, if Allison Janey does not get at least a nomination for Best Supporting Actress, like, the Academy is rigged. I mean, we already know it's rigged, but I think that showing those different kind of aspects to her life when she was a kid, how she met Jeff, just her personal turmoils of dealing with her, you know, her relationships and being loved, and her confidence, all those things we get to see play out. And then her escape from all of the craziness going on in her life, her escape is figure skating, and she's really good. At the end of the day, people can say whatever they want about Tonya Harding, but what they can't say is she wasn't good at her sport. I've asked people just off the street randomly what they know about Tonya Harding and Nancy Kerrigans, and most of the time people say that Tonya Harding was a good figure skater. She just was really jealous of Nancy Kerrigan. That's what I hear just from, you know, just me asking people or whatever. I can say that some of the standouts, like I mentioned before, obviously Margot Robbie as Tonya Harding, Allison Janey as her evil ass mother. Listen, Allison Janey, when I tell y'all, she really took this part to another level. She could have kept it really surface. I feel like she could have just been a bitchy mom and let that be it, but I feel like Allison Janey played it to another level. I really want y'all to go see the movie so you can know what I'm talking about. But essentially, Allison Janey kind of paints this picture that, yeah, she knows that she was hard on Tonya, quote unquote hard on Tonya, but she honestly believed, her character believes that I'm doing this in the best interest of my child. I'm sacrificing the love our relationship because I want you to be a quote-unquote champion. That's what she says is her motivation as to why she treated Tonya the way she treated her, because she wanted to, in her mind, she wanted to push her to be a greater and a better athlete, and she thought she was helping her. Tonya, on the other hand, didn't see it that way. So those are just a few that stand out as well. Sebastian Stan, I really thought, honestly, I really like Sebastian Stan. I think he's a great actor. I just felt like at first, like, Jeff just was such a surface character. Like, okay, like, you're a guy who fell in love with this girl who had something going for her, and because she has something going for her, like, you don't have nothing going for yourself. I don't know, it seems like Jeff's motivations in the movie, per se, his motivations seem to be very surface. I did have a couple criticisms. One thing that really kind of took me personally out of the movie was there were a couple of scenes where you can clearly tell, like, it's not Margot Robbie skating. Like, she has good physicality in other parts. I know as an audience member that's not her skating in certain scenes. There's scenes where, like, they try to, like, digitally, like, put the face and stuff on her, kind of like, if you guys are familiar with the movie Black Swan, there's a couple of scenes in that movie where Natalie Portman's character is supposed to be doing this really intense spinning dance move, and I couldn't tell for a long time, you know, whether or not that was or was not Natalie Portman. But they do tell you Double's face, they put Natalie's face on her just, you know, for continuity or whatever, because, you know, she's not a professional. Natalie wasn't a professional dancer. Margot Robbie's not a professional skater. Like, their body movements are obviously going to be different, and they're not going to be able to do some of the harder moves and stuff. So that makes sense. It's just that for me personally, it took me out of the movie because the CGI just was not where I would have liked it to be for me personally. But, you know, let me know in the comments below. Maybe you guys saw that scene or a few of those scenes and it didn't bother you, it didn't take you out at all, but it did take me out of the movie for the few times that I was able to pick up and notice it. And I would look at the TV like, what? Hair and everything, like, If I would have to criticize the movie, I would definitely criticize it on that. There was a point in the movie where I feel like the story, like, got up to as far as it could go, and then we were just waiting for the incident and just waiting to, like, you know, hey, you know, Tonya, like, we know that you've been abused most of your life. Okay, you're telling us this. We're trying to sympathize with you. But then it just felt like it continued to be about the abuse, which was, I guess it was okay for the context of the story, but it just seemed to, like, stay on that and not really move off of it for certain points. But again, that was just my personal opinion. I definitely feel like with Tonya Harding's story, I'm glad that it touched on kind of the controversy in the professional skating world, in the sense that, you know, the reason why people had so many issues with Tonya Harding, like, just being herself. Honestly, she just wanted to be herself on the ice. And one of the characters in the movie kind of tells Tonya Harding's character that, you know, it's not anything personal, Tonya. You're just not what we're looking for. Like, you're not the image that we want to put on the forefront of professional women's figure skating. Like, you don't look like what we need you to look like. You know, you can't represent America. You can't do certain things because you don't fit into this specific box, this category that we want the women in professional figure skating. We want them all to look like this and dress like this and move like this and dance like that. You know, they basically told her, like, you have too much personality and individuality that you cannot compete at this level. And for her, she took that as a challenge. Like, word? Okay, I got you. She kind of took that, and that's what I feel like, that's what kind of pushed and motivated her to continue on in this field. But yeah, overall, guys, I highly suggest going out and taking a look at this movie. And it's called I, Tonya. If I was to rate this movie, I'm gonna have to say I would probably give it 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 black stars, only because the story was lacking just a little bit, and that CGI, it wasn't doing it for me. Like I said, you guys let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about this movie. Let me know what else you guys want me to review. If you guys have any questions or comments, like I said, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. All right, it's been Leanne here. Thank you so much for joining me here at Black Girls Love Movies. I will see you on the next video.